What if the perceived chaos of the universe, the intricate dance of life and matter, operated under a set of profound, yet hidden, universal laws? These are not laws of physics in the conventional sense, but deeper, more fundamental axioms of existence known as the Hermetic Principles, attributed to the legendary sage Hermes Trismegistus, a figure syncretizing the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian deity Thoth. These 7 principles form the core of Hermetic philosophy, primarily popularized in the early 20th century through the anonymously authored text, the Kybalion. These teachings propose a master key to understanding reality, from the grand cosmic theater to the intimate stage of personal consciousness. They claim that to grasp these principles is to unlock a path towards mental alchemy, transforming one's own mind and, consequently, one's experience of life. This exploration will delve into each of these 7 forbidden laws, examining their meaning and enduring relevance in our quest for understanding. The first Hermetic principle, the principle of mentalism, boldly asserts, "The all is mind, the universe is mental." This foundational axiom posits that the ultimate reality, the all, which is the substratum of all existence, is an infinite living mind, an unnameable, unknowable spirit. Consequently, the entire manifested universe, with all its phenomena, is a mental creation of the all. This doesn't render the universe illusory in a dismissive sense. Rather, its fundamental nature is akin to thought. Every particle, every force, every consciousness is a component within this grand cosmic mentation. This implies that our individual minds are not isolated entities, but fragments or aspects of this universal mind. Therefore, the power of focused thought and conscious intention can profoundly influence our personal experience of reality, a concept echoed in mindfulness practices and even some interpretations of the observer effect in quantum physics, where consciousness appears to interact with the material world. Following mentalism is the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. This principle establishes a profound harmony and analogy between the various planes of being and life, the physical, mental, and spiritual. It suggests that the laws governing the cosmos, the macrocosm, are mirrored in the individual, the microcosm, and vice versa. Understanding one level allows for insight into others. The structure of an atom can reflect the structure of a solar system. The patterns of crystal growth might echo the formation of galaxies. On a personal level, our inner world, our thoughts, beliefs, and emotional states, directly corresponds to and influences our outer world, our circumstances, and experiences. By examining our external reality, we can gain clues to our internal landscape. This principle empowers us, for by changing our inner below, we can influence our outer above, cultivating a life that reflects our highest aspirations. The third axiom, the principle of vibration, states, "Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates." This principle reveals that motion is inherent in everything in the universe. From the densest matter, like a rock, to the most ethereal spirit, everything is in a constant state of vibration, differing only in rate and mode. Science corroborates this. Atoms are whirlwinds of energy. Light and heat are vibrations, and even thoughts are considered to possess their own vibrational frequency. The Hermetic teachings elaborate that differences between manifestations of matter, energy, mind, and even spirit are merely consequences of varying rates of vibration. Understanding this principle allows for mental transmutation, the art of changing one's own mental states, and consequently one's reality, by consciously altering one's mental vibrations. By elevating our vibrational frequency, we can transcend lower emotional states and align ourselves with more harmonious experiences, resonating with higher possibilities. The principle of polarity declares, "Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled." This principle explains that what we perceive as opposites are, in fact, two extremes of the same thing, differing only in degree. Heat and cold are not distinct phenomena but varying degrees of temperature. Love and hate, courage and fear, light and darkness, all exist on a continuum. Understanding polarity allows for the mental art of transmutation, by which one can change their mental polarity along any given spectrum. One can consciously raise their vibration from fear towards courage, or from apathy towards enthusiasm, by recognizing that these states are not absolute but points on a scale that can be navigated through focused will. This principle offers a powerful tool for emotional regulation and reframing perceptions. Next, the principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. This principle highlights the cyclical nature of the universe. Just as tides ebb and flow, and seasons cycle, so too do all aspects of life, from economies and civilizations to personal moods and energy levels. There is always an action and a reaction, an advance and a retreat, a rising and a sinking. The Hermeticists teach the law of neutralization, which involves recognizing this rhythm and learning to rise above its unconscious sway. By understanding that a period of downturn will be followed by an upturn, one can maintain mental poise, avoiding being carried away by elation in good times or despair in bad. This doesn't mean stopping the rhythm, but achieving a level of consciousness that is not dominated by its inevitable swing. The principle of cause and effect states, every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. This fundamental principle asserts that there is no such thing as pure chance or luck. Every event, every circumstance, is an effect stemming from a preceding cause or a chain of causes, whether those causes are apparent or hidden. These causes can operate on different planes, physical, mental, or spiritual. An effect observed on the physical plane might have its origin in a mental cause. Understanding this law empowers us to move from being passive effects of circumstance to becoming active causers. By consciously choosing our thoughts, actions, and intentions, causes, we can proactively influence the effects we experience in our lives. This principle is the bedrock of personal responsibility and the concept of karma, where actions inevitably lead to corresponding reactions. Finally, the principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. Crucially, this principle transcends mere physical sex. Hermetic gender refers to the universal dual creative principles, masculine and feminine energies or aspects, inherent in all things. The masculine principle is typically characterized as projective, active, directive, the will, or the I am. The feminine principle is receptive, generative, nurturing, formative, the becoming. All creation, whether physical, mental, or spiritual, arises from the dynamic interplay and union of these two energies. Nothing can come into being without both. Every individual, regardless of physical gender, embodies both masculine and feminine qualities. Achieving a harmonious balance between these energies within oneself, balancing doing with being, assertive action with receptive intuition, is key to personal integration, creativity, and manifestation. This echoes concepts like yin and yang in Taoism. These 7 Hermetic principles, mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender, are not isolated doctrines but an interconnected framework describing the fundamental fabric of reality. They work in concert, offering a profound lens through which to understand the universe and our place within it. The ultimate purpose of grasping these laws is mental transmutation, or self-mastery, the elevation of one's own consciousness to effect personal transformation, not to manipulate others. It's about becoming a conscious architect of your experience, rather than a passive subject of circumstance. We encourage you to observe these principles at play in your own life and in the world around you. Consider reading the Kybalion or other interpretations to delve deeper. By understanding these universal laws, we unlock immense potential for personal growth, heightened awareness, and the conscious co-creation of a more harmonious existence.